You got to just get into a habit of sharing what you're meant to share and do not give a single care. I don't know, you can care about it. But what I mean is, we're just going to be hard and fast today. It is what it is. You know how it is. It's going to take however long it takes. Me to my team. Oh, I'm just going to talk for a few minutes on my live stream today. God to me. We'll just see about that, young lady. Whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. Here's my new system, Tish. Yes. I'm on fire already from the fact that I just went live in Elevated Expectation and taught a live module in there. This is your absolute final invite to join Elevated Expectation. Like this right here will be literally the last time I think I mention it, because I already sent the final email. I've done my final stories. That page is getting closed down momentarily, sometime in the next couple of hours. It's my new live money course. It's at thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. She says elevated expectations was fire. I just taught the second live training. It was freaking phenomenal. The title is There is a Literal Supernatural Location. There is a literal supernatural location. Why are you trying to figure it out or fix it or make it happen? Oh my gosh. I was preaching myself happy to quote John Bevere. He's one of my favorites. So anyhow, then I was just on fire. Like I'm so on fire when I teach live in my courses, which at the moment means I'm teaching live in Elevated Expectation, and I'm always teaching live in the Secret Garden, which is my membership. And truly I say to you, if you are not in the membership in the Secret Garden and you want to be in an environment where you have a Christian business mentor and coach and you are surrounded by women of faith who are just flowing with the fire and God that God is revealing, fire and gold, that God is revealing to them. Women at all stages of their walk with God, you got to be in the Secret Garden. You just got to be in the membership. It is the low cost space. It is the place to be in. You get tons of extra things for free and included. You got to be there. So that's where I teach live every week anyways. And at the moment I'm teaching Elevated Expectations live. And I'm doing whatever else I'm doing. But what I realized is I have this tendency of I talk myself in or out of being on a live stream to the world, you know, like a public live stream. And I create this whole build up around it sometimes, not all the time, I've got a bit of history here, but sometimes I create this whole build up where I'll start thinking about, am I going to go live, and do I have like the energy or the desire to go live right now? Can I just tell you, this is the biggest freaking waste of time. And it's not just relevant to whether or not you do a live stream, but I mean, like, should you share a tip on your stories? Should you share a photo of your meal on your stories? I don't know. Do you eat interesting food? Stop thinking about it so much. Should you write that post? Should you send another email? You probably should, because guess what else? Everybody is not as obsessed with you as what you think they are. So they are not literally sitting there going, oh my golly gosh, she already sent this many emails this week and now she sent another one. Look, I'll be honest, sometimes people do screenshot to me how many emails from Katrina Ruth are in their inbox, and it's extraordinary. But that's like the people who are the closest up in my space, and you know, we have that level of intimacy as far as you being a client of mine or in my community. That's fine. You're going to have some people like that who are really actually watching everything you're doing, and that's a good thing. But most of the people that you're scared of over marketing to really are not sitting there with a little spreadsheet keeping track of whether or not you already said that, or whether or not it sounds too repetitive, or whether or not you were really on fire that day, or whether or not you're selling too much. Hit the list. Say the thing. Send the email. Hit the list. Do the live stream. Stop freaking thinking, because guess what you're going to do? This is what I do when I get into a thinking mode. Thinking. I just don't recommend it in general. I mean, it serves its purpose, but it's overrated. 3 stars some of the time. If they are, I'd really like to tell them, that's good, Beverly. If they are watching that closely, then, well, they should either be a close client or maybe they're meant to be doing something to help you out. So, in general, when I start thinking, do I feel like going live, or am I inspired to write an email on my blog, or maybe I have been selling too much and I shouldn't send another email, or maybe people, or maybe such and such person in particular that I'm slightly intimidated by thinks that I'm being silly on my stories, and so maybe I shouldn't do another story. Maybe I've not done enough stories. Maybe I need to plan my content. Oh my gosh, do you know how much like exhaustion this causes, and just wasted time as well? And meanwhile, when you're on a flow thing, because maybe you were just talking to a client or a friend, or you taught a training, or maybe you're just sounding off to one of your team members or your bestie or your partner or whoever it is, that is the moment in time for you to spout forth a thing because you're already in it. You know, it's coming through you. You might as well just pour it on out rather than, oh, let me just go make a coffee, brush my hair, brush my teeth, clean my feet. I don't clean my feet through the day. I don't know why I said that. Let's just go and do all this stuff and let's think about, am I going to do the live stream? Am I going to write the thing? Oh, maybe nobody wants to buy that anymore anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So much wasted time. So much wasted time. Very irresponsible as well when you have a message to share that is here to help people. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do you know what one of the biggest things that we wrestle with is? We, meaning like purpose-driven leaders, messengers, creators, those who came forth to pour forth a thing. We came here to pour forth a thing that God has put into us and that we really are continually being, you know, internally fed and fueled by, and we're meant to be expressing forth. You got to just like cut the middlemen, cut the gatekeepers. Cut the gatekeepers. Who are the gatekeepers that are stopping you from just sharing what you're here to share? And as part of that, creating and selling whatever it is that's coming through you. The gatekeepers could be, if you're listening to the Paint by Numbers crowd on the internet, this is how you have to build a business. Your reels don't look right. Your website doesn't look right. That's not how to run a launch. You need this many emails in your sales sequence. Your face doesn't look right. Stop it. Off you go. Over into the Paint by Numbers class. So that could be the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers could be you're listening to people who have all sorts of rules that actually don't know anything about what on earth God put in your spirit. Or the gatekeepers are oftentimes your own ideas of what needs to be in place, prepared, figured out, or organized before apparently you're allowed to open your mouth and say a thing that God put on your heart. Amen? Right? Like that's actually, like that's a major gatekeeper for women like us. Now, some of you definitely need to kick to the curb whoever it is you're looking at or following who is telling you that you somehow have to conform yourself into a whole other kind of a person that you're not even here to be in order to apparently be successful online. Do you know that most of those people who are saying that, I don't know whether or not they're successful. I'm not here to really judge or say anything about that. But many of them, even when they are, like really just rolled that out in the last couple of years, to be honest, which is not to discredit, because absolutely, you could have rolled it out yesterday and have a message of value to share. But what I'm saying is they have absolutely no credentials to be in any position of authority within your spirit. Do they? That's really my point. Regardless whether they've been in business 20 years or 2 years. That's not really relevant. So, why are we listening? When it depletes us, when it makes us feel less than, when it feels exhausting, when it's draining, when it's sad making, when it just feels like fundamentally within you that you shouldn't have to do that. Let it go. And then same thing when it comes to your own thoughts and ideas. Sam's there on my other old profile. She says, it's the absolute final invite, gorgeous. Elevated expectation. Are you in? thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. It is my new money course. The live money course is already underway. We've got some weeks to go though. And that page is closing down today. It's a God-led money course. It is a whole thing. We're up to module 5 right now. There's going to be about 20 modules in total. Supernatural, the literal supernatural location is what we did today. Tish says, get in. Get in! You definitely want it. You don't want to miss it. It's also 70% off the typical cost of a signature course of mine. So don't miss it. You can buy a home study later. Why on earth would you do that when you can do it live right now? And then, by the way, there's a whole new thing. There's a new girl in town. And guess who it is? It's going to be you, letting out the truth and the fire and the flow of you. And this is the work, baby. The private work with Kat that maybe you've been waiting for, because this is a whole new download that I just got this morning. That's what that little comment is about, which says, I want to do a thing. It's a new thing, you and me, all in 30 days, one-on-one, 10 places only. Why is this tripod falling? Message me to apply now. Now, you can read more about that later, especially if you're on my email list, but I called it a new girl in town. Why? Because it came out of my head that way when I was writing about it. But I'm just going to say to you, this is something I've been asked for so long to teach on, and I've always refused. I've always said, no, I'm not doing a course on this or any sort of mentoring or coaching on this. But then the reality is I've taught my private clients this for years behind the scenes. I just can't keep it on the D-low and don't talk about it. So you're going to have to read what that's about. But if you already know you want to know and you're ready to freaking go and work with me personally in that way, message me. This is very much is not going to fit a formula type of a situation. I'm very excited about this. I realized I bring my private clients in all different kind of ways. You know, I just kind of stopped thinking about what is the one way for people to work with me privately, because the reality is, I don't know if you coach your clients like this, you might want to have a think about it for your own high level work. But the reality is, I'm the kind of mentor, and I will coach as well, but I largely mentor. I'm the kind of mentor who I am going to just like rip right out of you whatever needs to be ripped out, because I'm going to see it. God's going to show it to me. I'm going to understand the thread to pull on or the thing that needs to be said or addressed. It's frequently not remotely going to be the thing that you knew you needed to hear, but you will be jaw to the floor, just like what just happened when it starts coming through. And that's for real. And then it's just going to be a matter of, in a practical sense, in your business, your money, whatever, addressing whatever needs. Like, it's not a one size fits all type of a system. It never has been. But I also still, despite that, spent years thinking, okay, I've got to like nail down the exact kind of, I don't know, like selling point or whatever you want to call it, the angle for my one-on-one work. And the truth is, there's always a new angle and a new message and a new thing I want to say in terms of how I'm positioning or maybe sharing something. But then the reality of once we're in it together is, but I'm just going to be looking within and yanking out what needs to be yanked out, and whatever needs to happen is going to happen. So then I realized what I need to do is simply keep offering whatever I feel like offering in the moment, whether it happens to be like first quarter supernatural increase is a whole 3-month thing with me, whether it's like a client re-signing and paying up front for the whole year, which is a thing, whether it's a short-term one-on-one type of a thing, whether it's like, all right, this 30-day container is this kind of a focus, and then there's all the extras and whatever that I just include for my private clients all the time anyways. But we have whatever particular focus we need to have. Could just be that is the moment in time that it was time for you to say yes to doing this kind of work with me. So this one, new girl in town, this one is going to hit some people very hard. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. You're going to have to wait. I'm going to post it later. I'm going to put it out on email, or you can message me and I'll send you quite a little ranty piece that I wrote about it that is quite explosive and powerful. What it really comes down to, it says, I want to help you rip the actually on fire bit right out of you and light up the world you're meant to lead in with it by showing you exactly how you need to write, speak, create, sell, and share with that thing which can't be hacked, which is unique only to you being you, and which is about jolly time, the world actually got to see. You need to be serious and ready, willing, and able to not only rip the band-aid energetically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually, and financially. Yes, you need to be ready to do private client work. Not for the faint-hearted. There is a new girl in town. That's that. I'm rambling. So, 10 places is going to be fire and flow. We're going to go in hard, deep, fast, and all the way for that period of time. And stuff is just going to be removed and renewed. Removed and renewed. Meanwhile, the rest of y'all, elevated expectations, that's where you need to be. The secret garden, frankly, you're just meant to be in there anyway. If you would like to be in a faith-led community with a Christian business mentor and coach and being truly held to the fire of what God has for you in all areas, business, money, and life. What I teach in there is just whatever is meant to be taught each week, relevant to entrepreneurialism, relevant to leadership, relevant to purpose, relevant to your walk with God, relevant to the supernatural, relevant to the Holy Spirit, relevant to all of it. You get the idea. And then though, regardless whether or not you can do something with me at the moment, here is what I came on to say. You really must just get in the habit of sharing the thing that you're meant to share, because you are in danger otherwise. When you continually talk yourself in or out of whether or not you're going to say a thing, you're really in danger of being a person who is kind of like middleman in their own business, as I said on my stories last night. And you might be doing a lot, and you might even be doing stuff that's really quite of service and it's quite helpful or important. But meanwhile, if you're still getting into bed tonight, I'm talking to you right now. If you are still getting into bed tonight and you once again did not express a thing that God has put in you to express, however rambly it might be, like me doing this right now, you're not going to be feeling right. And you shouldn't be, actually, because that is something going on in your spirit that's telling you, we're not on path right now. What are we doing instead? We're wandering off the path here, there, and everywhere, thinking that we need to build a freaking path or ensure that we're somehow safe or taken care of, when what God has put inside of you is a gift that should be shared now, and in actual fact is how the thing is going to be built, that you're over here trying to figure out how to make happen. So you've got to let it be rambly. You've got to let it be in the moment sometimes. A lot of the time, for a lot of people here, Not to say there's not other things that you prepare or take more time with behind the scenes in a different way, but when you're given a live message, then you need to share it live. And I don't necessarily mean live stream. Could be emails, stories, whatever. And the other part of that is it really does open up. It's a gateway. What I mean by that is it gives you fuel, really. Like, it gives you a sense of certainty and knowledge that you're doing what you're meant to do. And it really is going to motivate, activate, and empower you, and give you also idea flow on top of it all, to then go and do all the smaller things, or the fiddly things, or the things that otherwise you'll give your whole day for, that are not the things that are really going to build the business. The thing that will build the business in the end is not whether or not you figured out all the right systems in the background, not whether or not you nailed the right whatever's trending in marketing stuff. The thing that will build the business in the end is that you show up for today's work today, in the mess, in the chaos, in the madness, that you say the thing, write the thing, let people know about the thing, sell the thing, create the thing, let it be messy, let it be rambly, let it be that there's adjustments along the way, that you sit your butt down, you write some more words on that book, or you record that thing that needs recording, and then you go into a separate part of your day, if there's time. And sometimes there's not. So therefore, the content got done, the message got shared, the work got unleashed. That's the main thing. But in the additional bits of time, sure, then you sit there and you can hem and haw, if you really love to do that, or really have chosen that it's necessary. You can hem and haw over what structures or systems or frameworks are going to somehow get you to the next level. But let me tell you this, and then I'm going to go, because I'm hungry. Nobody got to the next level, or the now level that it's meant to be, by figuring out their freaking frameworks, their structure, their systems and all of that. But meanwhile, they weren't sharing a thing that's meant to be shared. Because what are we doing? We're following a freaking framework. We're following, I don't know, a poster child of proper internet marketing. No, not really. There's always room at the top for the person who has something real to say. If that's you, then why not just be the person that says something real? That's it. Okie dokie, I'm gonna go. See, that's how it goes when you just say to yourself, you know what? Stop deciding whether or not you need a little break right now, Cap, or with Cap. I should call myself Cap. Cat, stop deciding if you should eat first, and then you're probably going to talk yourself out of it because you're going to think of something else you're going to do. You just press go live, you do the thing. Go write your sales email. Go write a whole sales page. Oh, I need to think about it first. I need to check, I don't know, what frickin' phase of the moon it is. None of that. Go write a whole sales page. Write a sales email. Message that client. Message that person. Pick up the phone. Don't pick up the phone. I don't know. What are you avoiding that you should be doing? Just freaking get it done. Stop turning it into such a drama queen hoo-ha as to whether or not you should do the job of being you. That's all. Don't miss out on thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. All new money course closing in just a couple of hours. If you watch this, I don't know, tomorrow or something, sorry, you didn't get that. You can go join the Secret Garden. That's where you should be anyway, in the membership. And then if you would like to work with me personally, to have extrapolated from you, ripped right out of the core of you in the proper aligned way, the true message that you are meant to share with the world. This is loosely the framing of my new 30-day one-on-one intensive that I am inviting 10 people into. This is about, there is a way to write, speak, sell and create that is unique to you. I am somewhat known in the places where I am known for the fact that I have made tens of millions of dollars online by writing, speaking, creating, selling in a way that completely defies all apparent rules of that you're meant to do that. I've repeatedly been asked to teach like copywriting and that sort of thing. I'm like, I can't teach that because I don't do it. But then I know that I do it in a different way. And I really don't know how it's possible that I never had the download of doing it exactly like this. I do this kind of thing with my private clients all the time. But as far as offering it as a kind of like, this is the offer, we're going to really dig in and extrapolate the message, the true message of fire and flow, the way that it is uniquely you, that nobody else could have said or done that thing in that way. This is about the full gloves off, unfiltered, not for the faint-hearted, exactly what is meant to be coming out of you, woman, in the way that it is meant to be coming out, in your writing, in your speaking, in your selling, in your sales pages, in all of it. This is essentially the teach a man to fish version. Like, no more like, this is a framework for selling or marketing or anything like that. Not that I especially teach that anyhow. But no. Let's dig in, you and I. Let's go mining. Let's go unearthing. Let's go tearing off things that are maybe uncomfortable and not super fun to tear off, but need to be torn off. Let's get down to the liquid freaking fire and gold that is inside of you, that once unleashed, unblocked, unearthed, remembered, and committed to, is going to result in the fact that you never again need to figure out what to sell or how to sell it, or what to say or how to say it, or how to magnetize automatically the exact right people that are meant to receive your work, because I'm going to show you exactly how to tap into the actual fire and flow that is within you, relevant to your messaging, your copy, and every element of what that then goes into. Your creative work, sales, marketing, all of it. There's a new girl in town. Message me. I'll send you a link to a Google Doc. I'll put it all in a Google Doc. I did quite the write-up. I will email it out later if you're on my email list. But I'll pop it on a Google Doc. Message me about that. Goodbye.